Walter Palmer under fire for using a bow to kill a well-known lion in Zimbabwe.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're exploring the most notorious everyday non-famous people who cause the world to despise them with their controversial behavior. We won't be looking at murderers, instead focusing on other terrible acts.
I mean, I love what I do.
The Goblin Valley State Park vandals. It's always handy when people upload videos of themselves committing crimes.
This video touched off a criminal investigation into the toppling of the Jurassic-era boulder at a Utah park.
In 2013, 3 men recorded themselves pushing over a hoodoo at the Goblin Valley State Park in Utah. The person seen doing the pushing, Glenn Taylor, claimed they did it as the hoodoo was a danger and could have hurt someone.
It's all about saving lives here at Goblin Valley.
However, they didn't let a park ranger know about it before deciding to topple a protected natural structure. The men were leading a Boy Scout trip at the time. Their behavior caused the group to remove them. In 2014, Taylor and David Hall, one of the other men involved, pleaded guilty to misdemeanor charges, both receiving a fine and a year of probation.
People will say, you guys were Boy Scout leaders, you should know better.
The rock needed to come down.
With the information that we have today, of course we would do it different.
Justine Sacco. As a communications director, you'd expect Sacco to be good at, well, communication. However, that was seemingly not the case in 2013.
She's the PR executive at the center of a digital firestorm.
Working for IAC, she was traveling from London, England to Cape Town, South Africa. Rather than fight with her neighbor over the armrest, Sacco went on to X and tweeted about her trip, adding a racist remark. This sparked #HasJustineLandedYet to trend on the platform as people saw what was coming.
Her Twitter account exploding, her reputation imploding. Online critics launched the hashtag #HasJustineLandedYet, anxiously awaiting the moment Sacco would get online and perhaps discover at last the severity of the response.
Upon seeing herself trending, the PR executive deleted the tweet and her history. However, the damage was done, and she was soon fired.
She was fired Saturday from her top PR job at internet giant IAC, where she repped some of the biggest names online.
During her apology, Sacco defended herself by saying she was born in South Africa and her father still lived there. In 2018, she was rehired by IAC before leaving in 2025. Rachel Dolezal. As an instructor in the African Education Program at Eastern Washington University, president of the NAACP chapter in Spokane, Washington, and a black woman, Dolezal seemingly had all the attributes to be a race activist.
I did feel that at some point I would need to address the complexity of my identity.
However, that fell apart in 2015 when the truth was uncovered. Reporters found out that while Dolezal stated she was black, she was actually white, from a very white family. Many of her claims were found to be lies, such as living in South Africa as a child, and even having a stepfather when her biological parents were still together.
Because they went on a whole national media circuit with CNN, ABC, NBC, Fox News. They did every major network, and my credibility was shot.
Dolezal changed her appearance to look less white and fit in with the racial identity she believed to be. She'd later call herself trans-black. Unsurprisingly, Dolezal struggled for work afterward.
Dolezal says that because of all the negative press, she's been having trouble getting a job. So a lot of her income comes from a side hustle she's had for a long time, doing black hair.
Dog poop girl. Public transport can already be a dire experience, as you try not to make eye contact with anyone. Yet for passengers on a subway in Seoul, South Korea in 2005, it was significantly worse. One woman in her 20s had a small dog with her. Unfortunately, the little pup pooped on the floor. However, while other passengers covered their noses, the woman didn't attempt to clean it up. When she was offered tissues, she used them to clean the dog, and not the mess on the floor. The woman then left at the next stop as passengers began berating her. Photos of her and articles about the incident went viral, leading to her being identified and reportedly quitting university due to the harassment. Ken Bone. With a red sweater, a disposable camera, and an iconic mustache, Bone became a star after asking a question as an undecided voter during a presidential election debate between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump in 2016.
Does it feel strange to sort of become an overnight sensation?
It's been very strange.
Soon he was in memes and on talk shows. The fame even resulted in Bone being swatted. Yet a few days after his viral appearance, he welcomed Redditors to the Bone Zone for an Ask Me Anything. This allowed people to search through his history on the platform and find problematic content.
He is often getting prank phone calls and a lot of blackmail. It started after Reddit revealed that he made controversial internet searches and comments on certain adult websites in the past.
This included calling the fatal shooting of Trayvon Martin justified and blaming and objectifying celebrities who were the victims of the 2014 intimate photo leak. He also admitted to felony insurance fraud, causing Bone to fall from grace.
But I look like the dude that greets you with the dumb joke about golf. You know, says hi to you at the barbecue, the uncle that everybody liked to joke around with. And I think that's why they loved me so much in the beginning.
Rod Ponton. With the COVID-19 pandemic sparking many to work from home, everyone found Ponton's hilarious Zoom incident relatable in 2021.
I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that.
The attorney went viral during a hearing when he couldn't change the kitten filter as he desperately stated he wasn't a cat to his peers, in case they thought talking felines were now a thing. Yet this incident unearthed Ponton's less charming history.
Alpine's District Attorney Rod Ponton went before the Brewster County Board of Commissioners, pleading for thousands of dollars in additional funding.
As documented by Reason, in 2014, he was accused of using the federal government to target Ilana Lipson, an alleged former lover, and her business in Texas with made-up illegal substance claims. As district attorney in Brewster County at the time, Ponton claimed Lipson's potpourri was secretly prohibited substances, which tests showed wasn't the case. Regardless, he had Lipson and her family arrested.
I never wanted to aggravate anybody. I mean, I don't do this for fun. This isn't a hobby. This is how I make my money. This is how I support myself.
Amanda Riley. In 2012, Riley announced to her family that she had cancer.
It was a devastating story. A wife, mother, and devout Christian battling terminal cancer in her 20s and 30s.
This sparked them to produce donation pages to raise money for the mom. Then Riley created a blog titled Lymphoma Can Suck It to detail her experience and treatment. Seemingly, every time she went into remission, she then went into relapse as the lymphoma returned.
Amanda's blog had already been in existence for 3 years because Amanda was claiming to be diagnosed in 2012. This almost like a medical diary that Amanda kept online, very active on it. She was posting 2-3 times a week.
Her story touched the hearts of many, and she raised over $100,000, while others offered services or gifts to make her life easier. The blogger was even invited to meet country music star LeAnn Rimes. However, in 2015, an anonymous tip led to the discovery that Riley had been faking her illness. In 2022, the disgraced Riley was sentenced to 5 years in prison.
She has said to me that she regrets it every day. She does understand what she's done, which I think is interesting.
Walter Palmer. Since 1999, the University of Oxford had been studying lions in Zimbabwe's Hwange National Park. From 2008, they began following Cecil.
Lion conservationists have dedicated their lives to studying these creatures across Africa. They've spoken out against any kind of lion poaching because of the dangerously dwindling population.
However, that study came to a dramatic end in 2015 and turned Palmer into one of the world's most hated people. The U.S. dentist was a trophy hunter and took Cecil's life. To make it more uncomfortable, it was botched and the lion was injured for up to 12 hours.
Authorities say Palmer and his guides illegally lured Cecil out of the national park, where he was protected, by tying a dead animal to the fender of their car. Once outside, Palmer allegedly shot Cecil with his bow and arrow, injuring him.
The incident ignited mass outrage. However, it was done legally, and there were no criminal charges. Yet that didn't stop people from protesting outside Palmer's practice, causing hunting to fall in Zimbabwe, and for regulations hindering trophy hunting to take effect in several nations. Reportedly, that didn't stop Palmer from continuing his controversial hobby.
He's despicable. He's a killer. He's a murderer. Poor Cecil. I mean, how many lions do we have left? You have to kill them all.
Amy Cooper. On the same day George Floyd was murdered in 2020, another racist incident took place in New York City's Central Park.
If you have been on social media today, you have likely seen this. A Central Park confrontation went viral, netting more than 25 million views.
Christian Cooper was birdwatching when he noticed a dog off its leash and Amy, who, thankfully for Christian, isn't related to him. After he tried to get her to restrain her pup, which is a rule in the area, and she ignored him, Christian attempted to entice the dog to him. Amy exploded and called the cops.
Cooper told News 4 he spoke out because he's cognizant of what's happened in the past when police are called on unarmed black men.
We live in an age of Ahmaud Arbery where, black men are shot, gunned down because of the presumptions that people make about it.
She fake cried that Christian, a black man, was threatening her life, all while harshly holding her dog's collar. Thankfully, Christian recorded this. After he uploaded the footage online, Amy morphed into one of the most infamous Karens in history. Unsurprisingly, she was fired at Franklin Templeton.
Cooper was immediately fired from her job. Reports say Cooper has lost her suit against Franklin Templeton, which claimed she was illegally fired and portrayed as a racist.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into Settings and switch on your notifications. Hunter Moore. Not everyone is labeled by the media as the most hated man on the internet.
The very first time I went to isanyoneup.com, I was shocked that this was legal.
Then again, Moore, thankfully, isn't like most. In 2010, he decided not to go with his nightlife website idea. Instead, he created Is Anyone Up? This site allowed people to send more adult content, which he'd publish. It quickly became the place for sending revenge content.
Do you feel bad about doing this to, you don't know these women, you don't know anything about them, just anonymous people give you the pictures. What's
that's
right
kind
about
of what makes it easier,
Charlotte Laws was furious that Moore had published content involving her daughter, so she began investigating him. It was discovered that he'd paid Charles Evans, a hacker, to steal explicit images that the website uploaded, resulting in both being arrested. In 2015, Evans was sentenced to 25 months in prison, and Moore got 30 months.
When I heard that he only received 2 years, I think like everyone else, I was disgusted by it.
Did we miss any normal people who soon infuriated everyone with their terrible antics? Let us know in the comments.